I got a great feeling about the Indianapolis Colts on Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm going to share with you 6 reasons why I am convinced the Colts are going to win this game and that they're going to cover that 3.5. I love the Colts in this game. The more you watch these Colts, the more you watch tape, the more you think, my God, this is a really, really good team. Not a flash in a pan 7-1. But a really good team, not the Redskins in 96, not the 2012 Chicago Bears, who then went in the tank after they went 7-1 and missed the playoffs. This is a legitimately good team and a championship contending team. What if they make a trade and they go get a real guy? They go get somebody, not an agate guy, not that kind of Ballard guy that you think, okay, this is 52nd, 53rd guy on the active roster, but a real guy to help buffet this team. We're going to talk about what that would look like, what it would cost, and why it may or may not happen. We'll talk about that. I think it's going to be right up to the deadline. I don't think it happens today. Going to be really interesting to see what happens because the pricing, the market for these guys has not been set, right? Not for the real guys. Not for the guys who can move the needle. Not, you know what? This isn't about elevating the special teams, for God's sake. This is about getting a quarterback or an edge who can flat play and affect a game profoundly. Not just a little bit, but profoundly. We're going to talk about that. We'll talk about the latest injury report, both for the Colts and for the Steelers. We'll talk about IU football. They got a game tomorrow. I think they are going to clean the living cocks. They're going to smush the Turtles. Smush them. I can't wait for this game. 21.5, double it. That's how badly the Hoosiers are going to beat the Terrapins. And normally, I loathe arrogant jerks who talk about their team like, oh, they're going to walk in there and they're going to clean. They are going to have their way with the team they're playing against. And my God, this is going to be easy. The Maryland Terrapins can't carry the jock straps of the Hoosiers. Hey, hey, ho, ho. No, they're just that good. And not only are they that good, they have swagger with purpose. It's not fake swagger. It's not like Miles Turner's swagger. This is real swagger based upon results that are gained and earned week after week after week, day after day after day, rep after rep after rep. That's what this team is. And we're going to talk about the Indiana Pacers. I'll tell you, the Hawks are minus 2.5 in this game. Money line, hello, Pacers are going to win this game. We'll talk about that. This is Inside Indiana Sports now for Halloween 2025, brought to you by the great people at YouTube TV. Here's why I love YouTube TV, baby. YouTube TV is telling Disney, hop on ahead, brother. We ain't paying your ass. You're not going to jack prices up again on us. I don't think people care that much about ABC and the ESPN family of networks. And so, you know what? You come back to us when you're serious about being on YouTube TV. I love it because I don't want to pay any more for streaming fees. And I'm glad that YouTube TV is going to bat for you and me and all the customers to make sure that we don't pay any more than we absolutely have to. How much am I going to miss First Take? 0. How much am I going to miss that little morning show? 0. How much am I going to miss, hell, NBA Live or whatever that awful show is in the afternoon? Donut. Not going to miss a damn thing. Now, when it comes to play-by-play, there's some things I might miss. But I'll get over it. And if YouTube TV wants to play hardball for a while and rebate us $20 a month for not having the Disney family of networks, I'll take the 20, put it in my pocket, and buy myself lunch. I love it. These guys coming around year after year after year, redoing their deals and saying, you got to pay me because we're Disney and ESPN and ABC, so pay me what I tell you. Go screw yourselves. All right? I don't like ESPN. I don't like the way they operate. I don't like the way they've treated my friends that they've fired. I don't like anything about them. I like Mike Greenberg. I like him. I like some of the talent on ESPN. But overall, that network and all the ESPN networks have an arrogance that I can't abide, and I love it that YouTube TV is telling them to get bent. It's just awesome. Get YouTube TV, better picture, better audio. You can manage the guide. It is tremendous. It's the best. So get it. And use the link that I'm going to put in the show description as soon as I'm done with this live, and you get $15 off your first month as a subscriber with YouTube TV. All right? Can we make a meet and greet watch party happen? Who you want to meet and who you want to greet? Good question. Also, become a member, because membership has its privileges. Membership, we have the member get-together tomorrow at about 9 o'clock in the morning, where it's just Q&A, and it's fun, and it's laid back, and off we go, and you're going to love it. If you're a member, any level of member, whether it's a breakfast buddy or all-meal deal, you're going to really enjoy yourself. And if you become an all-meal deal member, you get a book. But the books are dwindling to a very, very short supply, and it's going to be a bit before I get more of them. So you want a book autographed maybe as a gift to somebody? Become an all-meal deal member, and I'll sign the book. I'll mail it to you. And if you want to give it as a gift, I'll sign it to whoever you want. All right? Indiana rules. That is the next thing. You got to become a subscriber. All right? Because when you're a subscriber, you become eligible to win prizes. I've got five jerseys of former Colts that I autographed that we are giving away starting on Monday. To be eligible to win, you must be a subscriber. It doesn't cost nothing to be a subscriber. And you must enter, and you can enter once per video in the comment section. You use the phrase that pays right now, and hopefully tomorrow, and Sunday, and Monday, and on and on and on. Is Indiana rules? Because it does. Toby Northern says, question, along with you approaching a player during availability, who determines what players come to the podium like JT and Buckner? They do. You know, if the guys have a certain stature in the locker room and kind of do a weekly thing where people gather, they can either choose to do it at their locker like Daniel Jones, or they choose to do it at the podium like DeForest Buckner and Jonathan Taylor do. It's up to them. And we're pretty agnostic about it. They want to do it at the podium, that's cool. They want to do it at their locker, that's cool too. Sometimes it works better to be at the podium. We like being in the locker room because sometimes you get a chance to talk to guys that normally, like JT Tuimoloau, all right? You saw the interview that we did, and it was nice and it was good. He didn't come to the podium, and he was just sitting at his locker. I thought, that's interesting. I'll talk to JT. So I did. It's nice to be able to walk around the locker room and kind of have your pick of the, non-captain type players and have a conversation with them. Zaire Franklin does it at his locker. He didn't come to the podium. He could if he wanted. He has done podiums before. Anyway, interesting question. Smash the like button. And if you want to make a donation, no big whoop. But please include a comment or a question that elevates the level of discourse on the channel. All right, let's talk about the Indianapolis Colts and the Pittsburgh Steelers. We have the injury reports. Kenny Moore, Grover Stewart, Jalen Jones, all questionable. Before being able to play on Sunday, Jalen Jones would have to be activated off IR. He's within that 3-week window. He practiced every day this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I would assume he's going to be active, but I never assume, and you shouldn't either. Also, out for the game, you've got Ebicom and Gould. They will not play. They have been ruled out. For the Steelers, you've got Clark, you've got Harrison, you've got Holcomb, all questionable. There are a couple of guys who are out, but it's a backup wide receiver, and there's another questionable player who's a backup quarterback, so who really cares? Malik Harrison could come off IR this week. He has practiced. Holcomb is a starting linebacker. He may play, he may not. And then you've got Clark, who's a backup safety. So there you go. The 6 reasons I feel like the Colts going to win this game, and then I'm going to give you a great note on Tyler Warren. All right, the Colts offense is so multiple with Taylor and Jones, obviously, Pittman, Pierce, Downs, Warren, who do you take away? And then you add to that, offensive line, which is the best in the game. And you have an offense. Where's the weak point? Who do you attack? Who do you think, okay, this is a guy we don't have to worry about? Where's that guy? These are all really good weapons, and you've got a guy in Daniel Jones who, through Shane Steichen and Jim Bob Cooter and Cam Turner, can figure out, okay, I got this group of defensive players. That means they're likely to be in this kind of scheme. And based on this scheme, that player probably going to be open. So they call the play. Daniel Jones knows when to audible out of the play and attack the weakness of what he sees when they get to the line of scrimmage and they're ready to go. It's not a perfect storm offense, but it's damn close. All right, can we get a Latu breakout game? I'm telling you, I really think either they get Latu doing something this week, or Latu is going to be recruited over, traded over, and they're going to find somebody to take some of those snaps and put pressure on the quarterback, because you got to have pressure on the quarterback. Either they're going to upgrade at edge, or I think they're going to upgrade at cornerback. We'll talk about that in a moment. The Steelers' corners are old, and they aren't any good. You can attack the Steelers deep, and the Colts really enjoy doing that. With Pierce, they can do it with Pittman. You can do it maybe Mitchell. You can do it with Doolin. You can do a lot of things deep. You can look at what the tight end for the Packers did this past week. He was really good, wasn't he? Yeah, and so you got Tyler Warren, right, over the middle. They got to figure out what to take away. Who do you double on this defense? That's the question, and the answer is nobody. Army Colts, I wonder if we see the new defensive end signed to the practice squad called up to the game. That might be something that they do. I don't think that they will. I think they like Tuimoloau, and I think that, in fact, I know that Tyquan Lewis is going to be up. So I think they feel pretty good. I like Tyquan Lewis as a guy who can get to the quarterback when he's healthy. Steelers have not beaten a Shane Steichen-led offense or team in the last 3 seasons, and Shane's played against the Steelers all 3 of those years. As the OC in 22, head coach of the Colts in 23 and 4, and Steichen has kind of had Tomlin's number in all 3 of those games. Colts defense, as maligned as it is, they are 6th in points allowed. Their advantage, and this speaks to the defense, the advantage that the Colts have in rushing touchdowns this season, Colts have 18 rushing touchdowns. 18, 1-8. 4 for opponents. 4. 18-4. What? That tells you how well they run the ball in the red zone. They are really good at running the ball and getting the ball into the end zone while in the red zone. You pass you throw to score, you run to win, right? Turnover advantage. Colts +8. Steelers, donut. They're even. So there you go. I'll be shocked if Ballard does any trading at all. I got to tell you the truth, I will be too. Because as much as they want to upgrade at either corner or edge, and they do, as much as they want to do that, they are not going to overpay. Colts are for real. They are not a fluke. And so here's a note about Tyler Warren. We were talking in the Colts media room today about tight ends for the Colts who have made the Pro Bowl. You had Eric Ebron in 2017. You had Jack Doyle in 16 and 18. Went to the Pro Bowl. Listen to the stats for Jack Doyle in 2018. Now, he was a really good blocker. 19. So it was Ebron in 18, Doyle in 17 and 19. Is that right? Maybe Ebron, I don't know. The last time that Jack Doyle was a Pro Bowler at the tight end spot, he had 43 catches for 448 yards and 4 TDs. Through 8 games, Tyler Warren has 37 catches, 492 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He is at Jack Doyle numbers right now after 8 games. He's a Pro Bowler if the season ends today. And if his season ends today and the other guys get to play another 9 games, he's still a Pro Bowler. Tyler Warren is rolling. What are the Steelers going to do about a tight end that wants to hit them as much as he wants to hit him? Yeah, Doyle, Pro Bowl in 17 and 19. And you had Ebron in 18. Ebron's one good year for the Colts. He was an up and down kind of cat. When you talked to him, either it was really fun and he was engaging, or he was sullen. He was a weird up and down character. And his career, you look at the stats and you absolutely see that. Will the Colts make a deal? That's the question. They're trying. Don't discount the chance that they make a splash deal. They're trying. They're really trying to make a splash deal. But Ballard's not going to overpay. Whatever the price is right now, it's too high for them to pay that. So as we get toward the trade deadline date, November 4th, Election Day, by the way, you know what? Maybe the price comes down. And if the price comes down, hello, they're going to make that deal. They're going to pull the trigger and make that deal. Trick-or-treating started at 5 o'clock here 45 minutes ago. I keep telling these kids to wait outside until Ken Sterling's done. Dang kids. You know what? Put the bowl of candy out there and let the kids fend for themselves. And to the winner go the spoils, right? There's a big brawl in your yard. Hell, there's a big brawl in your yard. You'll get over it. Not a Ballard fan, CH says. Think what our Colts could be doing had he gotten a quarterback sooner. Now, wait a minute. I got to admit, I didn't have faith in Indy Jones. Look, this team is really good right now. Let's not worry about 2022 or 2023 or 2019. Let's not relitigate the past when we have a present that is so pleasant. That's kind of like, you go on vacation and you're there on a Wednesday. You've been there from Saturday. You're going Saturday to Saturday. And on Wednesday, there is not a cloud in the sky, just like it is right now here in central Indiana, but you're on the beach and it's 75 degrees and you say, well, this is great. Nice weather today. Where was this on Sunday when it rained? I'm not going to be that guy. I'm just happy that the Colts are where the Colts are at right now, and I'm not relitigating 2020 or 17, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24. I'm not going to do it. That's really funny. But he's not going to overpay. Because here's the deal. Like what you're getting, you're not getting a player, right? You're getting a player who has to be markedly better than the player who's going to be watching games instead of playing. So like with an edge, you got to get somebody who is so much better than Latu or Pay that it is worth a significant investment to go pluck him off the roster of another team. So if you're talking about if you're talking about Chubb or you're talking about Phillips, Phillips is my guy. Phillips, I think that's the guy that maybe they go get. But if you're that, you have to be at a level of improvement above either Pay or Latu, or why are you giving that draft equity to another team in order to get that guy's services? You know what I mean? Pay and Latu are not perfect edges, but they're not too damn bad either. They do some things well. At corner, you got to get somebody who's better than Mekhi Blackman at a level that makes it worthwhile for the potential of the player that you're giving up via the draft equity. That makes sense? So it's not just, you're not going out and getting a guy. You're going out and getting the advantage you gain by playing that guy over the guy you're already playing. That makes sense? They may need one of their stars to rework a contract, or two of them. You're right. He's probably going to earn his way back into starting with grinding on special teams. If you're talking about A.D. Mitchell, you're exactly right. I don't know whether you are, but that is absolutely correct. A.D. Mitchell he's got to earn his way back. I'm telling you this. Shane Steichen is a trusting man and a trusting coach. But if you violate that trust, you're out. And you don't come back. He remembers. He's got a really, really good memory. Go Hoosiers and Colts, Mark Sherman. Hell yeah. Speaking of the Hoosiers, I think IU's ready to smush the Turtles. Normally, arrogance among fans just doesn't work for me. Like, I don't like it. You listen to Paul Feinbaum and say, well, if Indiana had to run through the gauntlet that the Alabama Crimson Tide has had to go through, there's no way that Indiana's undefeated, blah, blah, freaking blah. Stop it. You know what? Here's the thing with Paul Feinbaum. I wish he would run for the Senate and be elected. Now, he would be much easier to ignore. Although I'm doing a pretty good job of it now that he's not on in my living room ever because of the YouTube TV negotiation with Disney. And I'm digging it. Well, thank you for the $2. I wish you hadn't retracted your comment, your message. I will pass out cold if Ballard magically makes a deal. Don't discount the possibility that he will. We don't know. We've never seen this dude operate from this position. All right? Remember, in 18 when they made the playoffs, they started that season 1-5. This year's 7-1, that had never happened. We don't know what Chris Ballard is like, and we don't know what Chris Ballard is like with Carly Ursay-Gordon as the owner. Giddens. Why did Giddens get demoted? They liked Abdullah better. Abdullah was playing better than Giddens. So they're rolling with Abdullah, and Giddens is going to have to figure it out. That's the way it is. This is a meritocracy, man. You know, it's not about popularity, and it's not about draft position. You got a way to upgrade by signing a guy like Amir Abdullah, you do it. And then the guy who hadn't been working, it's kind of like Anthony. I really think that if Anthony Richardson, when he had come to the Colts as a rookie, if he understood the rigors of becoming a professional and the responsibilities itinerant with that position, he'd still be the starting quarterback. But he didn't get it. And he didn't work hard enough to get it to earn trust with Steichen. And so, hey, Pop go to Weasel, and here's Daniel Jones. We know exactly who Ballard is. Past behavior, best predictor. Aha, CH. Not necessarily so, because we don't know how he behaves with an owner like Carly, and we don't know how he behaves when he's running a franchise who is 7-1 prior to the deadline and could be 8-1 after this weekend's game. We don't know what that is. We've never seen that. We've seen him in some positions, 500, a little bit over 500, a little bit under 500, sucking in 2018. We've seen a lot, but we haven't seen 7-1. We haven't seen 7-1 with a team that they believe internally could win a championship. We've never seen that. But IU, I think, is going to... here's the thing about arrogant fans. And Hoosier fans, it's not arrogant. It's confident. It's knowing, because we watch. Snap after snap after snap, quarter after quarter, game after game after game. We see what this team does and how they operate. And the way they operate, they kick teams in the mouth again and again and again and again until in the fourth quarter they're like, okay, to hell with this. I'm done. And that's what you're going to have tomorrow at 3:30, or really at about 6 o'clock, as Indiana exerts itself against a poorly coached team. There's no other way to say it, but Loxley's just not a good coach. They're going to cover the they're going to cover the 21.5. Colts going to cover the 3.5. Pacers not only are going to cover the 2.5 tonight, they're going to win outright tonight. Trae Young is out. Yeah, everybody's out for the Colts too. You've got Nembhard, Mathurin, Toppin. They're out. Furphy and Peter are game time decisions. So there you go. Ballard will tap out like AR in free agency. I don't know that. I don't think that he will. Indiana rules, and Toby says, why not? And in Ballard's case, his job is or was on the line in the offseason. Now with a different owner, that don't play around, he's still at risk. Until they win 10-plus games, he's at risk. This is an opportunity, and these opportunities don't come around all the time, and you've got to take advantage of it when it happens, and it's happening right now. He knows that. Chris Ballard knows that. I think that he's going to do everything he can to make the right deal, but he's not going to make the wrong deal. So if Ballard doesn't make a deal, we should be thankful he didn't, because what was offered or what was required to make the deal that he proposes just didn't work. Didn't work. It wasn't in the long-term benefit of the team. Toby says this is an unprecedented area for Ballard. I totally agree. I think Ballard may surprise. The dynamics on this team have changed with a new owner, a QB that appears to be a franchise-type guy. Totally agree. And you know this. Last week, the week before, I was saying I don't think he's going to do it because we know who this guy is. I have been convinced otherwise. And I'm not going to tell you exactly how. What I'm going to do, we didn't do it this morning because I went too long. In the afternoon, we have no kind of false cliff where I can't go over. And so we do this is good a time as any to do the windmill. Get yourself warmed up for the Cubs tonight, doing the dance that has shaken women to their knees, well, that doesn't sound right, in their boots. How about that? Year after year after year after year, you go to the club. I don't care if you're 50. I don't care if you're 25. I don't care if you're 75. You do the windmill in the club, you ain't going home alone. Talk to you tomorrow. Members only, about 9 o'clock tomorrow. And then maybe a little bit before the game, the IU game against Maryland, and certainly a victorious post game.